dots on your screen, by the way, just hit 4:59. So that's happening in 5 minutes if everything stays on schedule. What would that 8 minutes be like, the trip from the pad into at least low Earth orbit?
This 8 minutes will be, the first 2 minutes will be very bumpy. Like I said, once you're out of the atmosphere, it's really quite amazing. The shuttle main engines back there are producing, they were a space shuttle, now it's just a very slight buzz. In fact, I could remember hearing the fans on the computers in the space shuttle. It was that quiet. But boy, you're being pushed at 3 times the force of gravity during that time. So there's a lot going on behind you.
And Terry, I think there's a lot of excitement, of course, for the launch itself, but there's pivotal moments beyond that, right? You said that 8-minute window. You have the boosters that are going to come off, and I know we're just now under 4 minutes from this moment. What's that like as an astronaut in those preceding moments where you're talking about the boosters coming off? Is there a lot of movement where you're at? Or is it kind of just, hey, the momentum's carrying us and everything's going according to plan?
We're watching everything. Nominally, the crew doesn't have to do anything during launch, although with the space shuttle, and I think with this vehicle as well, the crew could manually take over, but there's really no occasion for that to happen. So we're watching the computers, making sure everything is being done properly. And then, like I said, that last 6 minutes is very quiet. But when those main engines shut down, and you go from 3 G's acceleration right to being weightless, and that's quite a feeling.
Terry, we're coming up on 3-minute launch. We'll probably dip into NASA audio at about a minute so we can get that full experience and get the latest information. Wanted to ask you, though, about the immediate journey. You mentioned how bumpy it gets. We go through max Q, or maximum dynamic pressure, the crossroads between atmospheric density and the rocket's moving at that point. Once you get beyond that, is there some relief in the capsule?
Yes, quite a bit. That point of max Q that you refer to, max dynamic pressure, occurs around 40,000 feet, kind of where airliners fly, except we're doing Mach 1.2 or so. We're going much faster than an airliner, so there's shock waves on the vehicle at that point. And then the atmosphere thins out so quickly that Q drops off. And by the time the solid rockets come off, there's almost no air out there. And the astronauts can look up at that point, just 2 minutes after launch. They can look up and the sky is very black.
And former NASA astronaut Terry Hart, thank you for being with us. I know you're going to watch this historic moment, but you know how important this is. We are now going to tune in with NASA. They're going to go through their final comms. You're going to be able to listen to that moment. So we want to give a chance for us to get into that coverage. Terry, thank you for staying by with us and all of our panelists that have been watching this along the way. Ian, I think this is an exciting moment. Right? There's been a lot of anticipation, and now we're on the precipice of this historic launch for Launch Pad 39B.
A minute and 30 seconds to go. We've got 4 astronauts. Commander Reed Wiseman, the pilot, Victor Glover, mission specialist,
I'm excited.
Christina Cook, and Jeremy Hansen from the Canadian Space Agency, a mission specialist. These will become the 4 people to ride in the Orion capsule aboard SLS Artemis II, the crew, headed back to the moon.
Yeah, and historic moments are going to happen with this. Christina Cook is going to fly further than any woman's ever been. And so we're going to be looking at some of those type of moments that are going to unfold. But we are now 1 minute or less for the communications in the final minutes.
Sequencer to the rocket's onboard autonomous launch sequencer, or ALS. The rocket
They've been in there for over 2 hours.
Honor any holds that could come from the ground. Now, shortly after liftoff, Houston will take control of the rocket, and my colleague Gary Jordan will take over commentary.
Getting ready to take off in 30 seconds.
Go for ALS. Great call out. The rocket is on its own. 4 brave explorers ready to ride the most powerful rocket NASA has ever launched. Sound suppression water is flowing. 15. And here we go. 10, 9, 8, 7, RS-25 engines. 8, 4, 3, 2, 1. Booster ignition. And liftoff. The crew of Artemis II now bound for the moon. Humanity's next great voyage begins.
pitch.
Roger, roll pitch.
Houston, now patrolling the flight of Integrity on the Artemis II mission around the moon.
Integrity, AMT high.
Launch time passing 30 seconds. Integrity passes the ultimate beacon. Target milestone. Mission Control Houston seeing good performance on main engines. Space Launch System core stage. Integrity, 3 miles in altitude. Traveling more than 1,200 miles per hour.
Oh. Sounds like it does on Planet Coaster.
Mission elapsed time, passing 1 minute, approaching max Q.
On, Pontopoly on.
Stan, we have you loud and clear on Pontopoly on.
Have you the same?
Communication signal transport confirmed as Integrity and its crew go supersonic. Approaching 90 seconds into the Artemis II
It's
mission.
going into a little bit darker thing. It looks lighter on the phone than it does where we are seeing it with our eyes. You can see it's considerably darker. You can actually see the surroundings.
Show the time of the
1 minute 50 seconds of mission elapsed
How many
time, standing by for main
long
engine
days
throttle
around
down to 85%,
launch.
ahead of solid rocket booster separation expected at the 2 minute
Look.
9 second mark.
Looks like they're making chemtrails.
We see throttle down. Confirmed separation. Main engine's throttling up, guidance converged.
Integrity, guidance converged, performance nominal, upper stage RCS ready.
Copy all, Stan.
Integrity, SM priming complete.
SM running complete.
2 minutes 45 seconds of mission elapsed time into the Artemis II mission. Thrusters on Integrity and upper stage confirmed in a ready state ahead of service module fairing separation.
What is that? It was a little speck.
The rocket, I guess.
3 minutes into the flight. Integrity
far away,
49
it's how
miles in
small it
altitude,
looks.
78 miles downrange. Now passing
That looks cool.
See, looking back at the Earth, it looks round.
Let's not talk about that on camera. What controversy.
Standing by for launch board system jettison.
Think we'd be able to see it outside?
Last Genesis, great view.
I mean, it is going to circle the Earth.
Copy jettison, Team 8 plus 02.
It's going to circle the
We
Earth.
see you
People
sail on board,
watching.
Stan.
Yeah.
From Florida.
And Houston has you loud and clear on Tigris at the common line.
Outstanding, Stan. We have you the same.
3 minutes 50 seconds into the flight of Artemis II. Wiseman, Glover, Cook, and Hansen cross the boundary to space with good comm checks.
Well, I
GPS
guess it is
signals
showing
acquired
on the
after
left.
last jettison, now
And that
working on
where it
internal
says
checks to
live.
verify
No, that's
accuracy.
just showing the time, isn't it?
Flight Dynamics Officer analyzed the time of main engine cutoff, confirmed at 8 minutes 2 seconds, time of MECO.
Everything is going well with Artemis 2. They have passed the Kármán line, and so this is an important moment for all of this. You saw the boosters, they separated, and then about a minute or so later, we had the LAS that separated as well. So a lot that is unfolded here in a matter of minutes, and I mean, what an incredible moment to watch
Stunning.
this. Yeah.
You pass the Kármán line, Steve, you're in space.
Yeah.
That's the rule, basically. You heard the acceleration up to 5,000 miles per hour as they were about to jettison the last. So that's the launch abort system. That was one of the issues that we worked through aboard that earlier today.
Hold on.
1,000 miles per
Look at
hour
that,
as this leaves Earth on its long trek to the moon.
incredible moments, and we're giving you updates minute by minute here as we continue our special coverage of Artemis 2. And we have the entire team, but we have panelists that have been watching this, experts, and one that we had just talked to, former NASA astronaut Terry Hart. I think it's
A rocket that is headed for the moon with 4 astronauts on board, also making history, the first African-American person on board, first woman as well, and then a Canadian too, the first, all 3 of them, the first to go into deep space representing. So this is such an exciting day. There were just waves of cheers here at the press site. As we